I was gonna ask Luke how he knows this. Like, do you read books? Do you
I
read
definitely
articles?
used
Do you
to
watch
read a lot more.
videos? Like, what are your?
I definitely like intake a lot of like space science media, I'd say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Used to be a lot more books, like since I got
Now
to
it's short form
college.
content.
Yeah, now I just got it. If there's not Subway Surfers underneath, I click away. But yeah, like definitely a lot of YouTube, but a lot of YouTube videos are made for like, I don't want to be insulting,
Less
but like
knowledgeable
the
people.
layman, yeah.
Right,
And
right.
so
Yeah.
if you want like really good content,
Yeah, where do you get that?
yeah, it's like there are some podcasts I could give you guys. So it's just like
Beyond Me is a great one.
the top one. There's a bunch like reading scientific papers is like really annoying because like they all sound like super confusing, but sometimes those are fun to read, especially like new ones that are coming out. And I have like cousins in academia who do stuff like that. It's
And
fun to read their
What,
stuff.
so what are some of the podcasts that
Yeah.
you listen to?
Event Horizon's a really good one. Just some dude who has like physicists on and they talk about like their current research and stuff.
Nice.
That's a good one. I forget the name of the other one, which sucks, but I could show you later, I guess. I forget the name of it.
We can also link these in description. So listeners, if you
could.
want to learn more about from people who are just a little bit more qualified than us, then you can go
Yes.
Do you guys read?
I used to read a lot more. It's sad how little I read now. It's just
Yeah,
too easy with the phone. Like, I could order a book and like it'll get here, or I could search that thing and it's right in front of me.
Books are a
Like,
lot. I don't know.
The problem with like me and reading is,
that. You don't want to do it.
well, I honestly like I do want to, but it's very slow.
so slow.
Like it's both my parents are like English teachers, and I constantly joke with them about like, oh, if I watch something and if a picture tells 1,000 words and there's 30 frames per second and each frame is a picture, that's 30,000 words a second.
Whoa, that's a lot.
And then they get really mad at me.
So like the information is slow.
Yeah, it's just slow to go through a book and read it, whereas I could watch a video, and then I'm definitely not getting the same like amount of information. Like the information density might be lower, but it's more engaging, and I am much more able to watch. Say it takes like it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Like 2 hours of watching videos has the same information as reading for 1 hour. I would much rather watch for 2 hours than 1 hour, just because it's more engaging.
the book's gonna have better information though. Like you can maybe
Well,
get
if you
like
make
twice as much information.
I'm speaking of a hypothetical where like all the information from the book is made perfectly into like a video.
Right. We're just
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's
Actually.
sheer speed of intake,
Yeah,
not
Yeah, I
like
guess that's
not the
probably true.
quality.
yeah.
I feel like reading is still.
Well, do you think
Got you.
it's about not the content, but about how you actually intake it? It's something about reading, like
That's
is there a
definitely
difference?
because you're right. Like someone can talk, like you can listen to
Right, it is-
even this as fast as someone can read, or
Yeah,
faster.
like
slower.
the important
But
thing is the retention.
I think retention is definitely probably higher if you read it.
I
Maybe
feel
not.
just
Maybe
how our
maybe if
brains
you're
work.
watching visuals and listening to someone talk with something, but I just have the feeling
Well,
that
if
it's
you
not
have
as
a
good
YouTube
on
short,
YouTube video
that has
with Subway Surfers.
well, maybe that, but it's got captions so you can read it, and it's got voice so you're listening to it auditorily while you read. The combination of those two things, to me, okay, let's not say short form content. Let's just say regular video that has.
I thought you were about to be
captions.
pro short form content for a sec. I was like, where is this going?
Let's just say regular video, captions, and voices. I feel like the combination, like, the way their brain processes information, I sort of can't imagine that it would be worse to have both of those than to just have just one.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think having it said to you like kind of takes away from like the work you have to do to like read a sentence and comprehend. Like I do this all the time where I'm reading books and I have to like go back a page because like I like didn't.
Yeah,
And so-
I like tuned out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like it's so much easier to do on videos. And I think reading, like writing notes versus just like watching a teacher teach, like your brain retains the information.
Well,
I feel like.
I actually think
I agree.
it might be okay. So when you read and you didn't quite understand that last sentence you read, you're going to go back and read it. At least that's what I do when I do read, which is kind of rare. Versus if you're watching a video and you tune out and don't listen, are you really going to go back 10 seconds? Like, how often do
It's
you?
a lot harder. I think
I 100% go back and.
But I just feel like, at least for me, there's a much higher probability that I'm just going to let the video keep on playing and I just will have missed that. Whereas if I'm reading, like,
No, it bugs me if I don't get a part of like the process of someone's trying to explain something. I will like go back like even before they started explaining that thing, so I get like the lead
agree.
into it and how like they like segued into what they're going to be talking about. Like I can't continue moving forward with the video if I don't
But
understand.
all those things are just so much easier with a book. Time control and starting and stopping and going forward and backwards in the book is just so easy. You just do it. Like time control is then like you can read as fast as you want to, whereas a video has one really preferable listening speed.
Interesting.
And you can speed them up a little bit, but it makes a less quality video. I don't know.
So
to be
do
faster,
you
like-
prefer to read fast? Like, what's your?
No, what I'm saying is like, depending on where you are in the book, you can choose how fast you want to go. You can adaptively change your speed, and I think I don't know.
Okay, so if you're watching or listening to this on
Is this
Spotify,
like a question to me or is
no,
this
sorry. This is
You're
to
like
our
staring at me.
to our viewers on Spotify. You can leave a comment. So if you like, tell us how do you
Or YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Spotify or YouTube, the two platforms that we
Wait,
have.
Spotify has comments?
It has comments and it
I
has
didn't know
video.
that.
So if you're on
Really?
Spotify and you're listening to us, you can flick on that video and watch us. So yeah, YouTube or Spotify, leave a comment. How do you intake content and do you go back or do you just let it kind of flow? Because, well, and I guess my answer to Liam's initial question is that I don't read nearly as much as I probably should.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a conscious decision so I'm all about productivity and balancing my life. And I use Notion to do that. And
Here we go.
I know we
it's
mentioned
joking,
last
but
time,
this is
yeah.
that was sort of a joke. But whenever there's a free chunk of time in my life, I think about what are some things that I could be doing to fill this. I like to be productive. I don't like to really watch, like, very rarely I'll like watch a show or movie like on the weekend, whatever. But most of the time, I want to be doing something that I consider productive. And there are so many things in that sort of bucket of goodness that I could pull from. And each one has its difficulty, a time, relevance, how quickly I need to get it done. And so rarely do I find that being like, I'm gonna read this book, because there's a lot of things that I need to get done, and I can listen to that information through a podcast on my way to class. And to me, that's a faster way. I'm not saying that this is a good solution. I think that there is definitely value to reading. There's definitely a difference, and I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying that's sort of the way that I justify it to myself. I think about what are all the things I need to get done, and it's usually something that in that moment I just consider more important.
I think. Wait, just real quick. One thing about that though is that, and this is actually I think the biggest important piece about books is that books are highly polished, and are just a lot more concentrated quality information than a podcast or any other type of thing. Not to go against this medium, but
an educational video like isn't like, people put so much effort into research and then they make sure that they're explaining it in like a really comprehensive way, and then they actually have to like make sure that when they are making the visuals, it's in a neat and orderly fashion.
I don't think there's any videos that can go as in depth as the most in depth books can about certain scientific topics and many topics. Like I think the best source for most information is gonna be books or papers or something like that.
I feel like debating about the quality of these things is like
You're right. Yeah, this is
because like they could always be better. Like I feel like an even quality book versus an even quality video is what you should be like talking
Yeah,
about.
but do they have like if you want to go really in depth on string theory, do they have any videos that'll do that? Do those exist?
They probably, but you could probably
Do they?
turn.
I've watched some.
The internet, the
really
internet's
in
the
depth,
best.
like that get into all the math.
Like not like the math, but like they explain the pretty in depth about like how it works.
Well,
You could turn like a 20-page research paper into like a 10-hour video and like.
no, but do they do that though?
I mean,
I feel like they don't.
I
Maybe
don't
they-
probably not as because like at that point like academics, if you want to get taken seriously, you don't make a YouTube video. Right?
Yeah, it's
But,
at
like
that,
they could.
Yeah,
I
at
guess.
that point, it's all about. It's sort of about like what's accepted within the world of academia, because you don't see scientists posting YouTube videos about proofs. Actually, that reminded me of one time when someone did.
Okay, one time, but sure. So point is like, yeah, like Luke said, you can't really compare because like there's different people behind these different things. Some videos are great and well polished and well produced and well written, and some are not.
Yeah.
And so I think on average there's probably going to be more care put into fact checking, peer reviewing like your papers. But it's not
Well,
like a
like-
fundamental thing about the medium that makes it that way. It's just that because of the way that it's set up, because the types of people who happen to do one thing or the other, that's the way it is. Not a fundamental limit to videos.